Hi Libra, here's a general look at your solar chart for October 2013, and may I wish you a happy birthday. Now, this is a month when the sun is in your sign up until the 23rd, so it's quite a powerful time of the year. It's a time of the year to take stock, to weigh things up, to sort of sit back, be a bit more self-indulgent wherever you can, and kind of look at the dance of life and how life's been treating you, how you've been treating life over the last 11-12 months, and the way should generally be clearer for you to get on with the sorts of things that you want to. There's a lot of emphasis this month on stuff, the piggy bank, possessions, property, possessions, big ones, small ones, but they can be somebody else's possessions as well, somebody else's stuff. So it's kind of all in the mix there. And right at the very beginning of the month, for your information, Uranus and Pluto, which you may or may not know are doing a mega makeover job on you and your life, and have been doing that for a few years now, are moving across the degree of the Sun. And so this is going to make them more noticeable. I'm just going to remind you of the position of Uranus, which I don't usually on a month-to-month forecast, but Uranus is in your opposite sign, Aries, and this month, just over the first 4 days, the last day of the previous month and the first day. So those of you born at the end of September, on the first 4 days of October, are going to feel this the most, right? I say the most because the ripples will kind of go out in lessening degrees of influence, but just a reminder that partnerships has been a very uncertain area for you for quite some time, and so you might just feel the ripples of that a little bit more at the beginning of the month. In fact, in general, through partnerships and other close relationships, they might not be love relationships, but close, maybe working relationships, maybe family relationships, which of course will be all kinds of things to you. Your life will tend to be turned. Sometimes it will shake the apple cart, sometimes it can turn your life around, or it can turn your life upside down. But definitely there's this feeling of transformation in your life because of certain key relationships. The Uranian energy is inconsistent. It's rather sort of jagged, jerky energy, and sometimes this can disrupt your inner equilibrium. Somebody's behavior is not what you would have expected, or what you were looking for, or what you wanted, and or someone in your life long term is undergoing change in their life, which then provokes certain types of behavior from them, or because of their disruption, you cannot get a regular routine rhythm going with them, and it might not be their fault. Their uncertainties, their disruption, their ups and downs are having a knock-on effect on you. So you're going to have to, on the one hand, be more understanding in relationships, but on the other hand, you're going to have to be more self-sufficient in relationships, holding and aligning in your own space to your own, shall we say, higher self, because the winds of change can buffet you from their behavior or whatever else is going on, and you need to be that strong mast or that strong anchor, holding yourself. So more self-sufficient. And it can even be that there's a series of relationships that kind of blink in and out of your life, or maybe one relationship and their behavior is in some way unpredictable, for whether it's their fault or not, and now you see them, now you don't, kind of thing. Anyway, just a reminder of that very, very long transit going on there. And this month, you Librans born between the 1st and the 4th, between the end of September and the 1st and the 4th of October, or with 8 to 11 degrees rising, that's the end of September to the 4th of October, or with 8 to 11 degrees rising, are going to feel the energy the most. So moving on from there, it's the Sun then shifts position on the 23rd, and that's when more of your attention is going to be in this materialistic area of your life. Also on physical well-being, that might be yours and somebody else or somebody else's. But key themes will revolve around the piggy bank, around stuff, material paraphernalia, equipment, possessions, large or small. And you might be more concerned with, the maintaining of that, the protecting of it, the converting of it into cash, or just ways that you can improve your income, and seeing how to improve things on other practical, physical, material bases, which can just make your life easier and better. Conversations and ideas that you have, they tend to be have a very practical slant to them, and be centered around this area here. Correspondence of all kinds centered around this area here. And buying, selling, renting, leasing, that could be more on your mind. And this would be a good moment to think about what is of most value to you, and how that you can capitalize on any asset, and that can be an inborn talent. So how you can capitalize on that, how you can turn that into a lucrative skill. And so that your mind is turning on that sort of area there. The good news is that up until the 8th, Venus is in this very materialistic area, meaning, that at the very least you shouldn't do too badly in that area. So try to close a deal before then, and you could there could be goodies in the pipeline for you as well up until the 8th, which is no surprise being that it's your birthday month. But hey, that's where Venus is. So and overall, you might get the chance to use material resources to satisfy some sort of requirement, some sort of desire. Physically, if you've been out of balance, then Venus here is going to help. And others could be very much enjoying your company, or just valuing your input, your contribution. You know how to do something in a way that they really appreciate. So. And then from the 8th, Venus goes into your communication sector, so brings grace, fluency, and flow to any communications with another, any negotiation type situation, any educational type situation, and makes certain daily encounters more entertaining, more friendly, warmer, even more intimate or exotic. And some of you could be in exchanges with others which encourage your self-expression. You feel more supported in your self-expression. You can get on better with siblings or soul brothers and sisters at this time, and you can get yourself a good deal on something as well. I don't know whether I mentioned that Mercury is going retrograde, but Mercury is retrograding from the 21st. And so anything related to the piggy bank, material security, physical well-being, that retrograde can slow things down, cause hold-ups. You're waiting on somebody's call, maybe on something, or somebody gets the wrong end of the stick. Hopefully it's not you. So there's a tendency there when Mercury goes retrograde. Now, until the 15th, Mars, the position of Mars indicates that you could be mixing and mingling with different sorts of people in a group context, or more with a friendly vibe around, friends new and old around, and connecting through the wires with others. This is very much a sort of futuristic area, so and a technological area as well. So you could be connecting with others. It's very sociable, so you could be connecting with others and networking even, and doing, being very dynamic through that opportunity to link with others who can maybe be useful to you in some way, with so much emphasis in the money area, the property area of your chart. But due to certain others, life can become more demanding. You may have to do more work because of them, for whatever the reason, whether they mean to or not. And you've just got to be very decisive and maybe a little bit more assertive in that area there. But don't be hasty, and do not let others tire you out, because the Mars energy is, you're kind of being bathed in this Mars energy, and it's coming at you through groups of other people, or small or large groups, or friendships, or just associates. But this is a very future-orientated phase, so anything that's been shelved for a while, maybe you've got to blow the dust off that and move forward with that. Time to get the ball rolling on something, though. And then from the 15th, Mars is in a very different area. It's more inward, more introspective. You're not so much in the public gaze. You're in this sort of incubation phase, and things could be a lot busier behind the scenes. You could be putting yourself out more for others, and you could be getting on with an awful lot more than others realize about you. It's a good time for keeping yourself to yourself and just recharging, getting on with what you need to, being a little bit more careful about your boundaries as well, because others could be leaning on you a little bit more heavily, and going in for whatever nurturing or restful pursuits you can, and whenever you can, let others take the strain. But this is a karmic house, so you are working quite hard in this house, but maybe you need to be letting go of a little bit more than you usually do, and not try to control things. It's just more going with the flow here. Watch out for between the 18th and the 21st, when Mars and Neptune brush past each other in the skies. There can be misunderstandings there, or you expend your energy for not a very good reason. Your vitality can be lower. You can be more open to infections, or the side effects of drugs, maybe, or sort of remedies, treatments even. And it all depends on your natal chart, the degree of this. But just protect yourself a little bit more during that time. Don't be too influenced, or don't let yourself be swayed or influenced against your better judgment during that time there, or ever really. But it's more likely during that time. And just let things lie until after the 21st, maybe. And did I mention Mercury going over Saturn on the 8th and the 9th? It's harder to get your side of things across, maybe, or you've got more in your mind, or there's more paperwork and correspondence, or you just feel more burdened by what you've got to deal with on a mental level. So again, try not to schedule anything too major on those couple of days there, if you possibly can. Mars, as I say, is in a very self-reflective area, and you should be taking time to do just that. So doing perhaps more therapeutic activities like yoga, meditation, and the like. Now, until next July, Jupiter will be in your area of career and overall life direction. Now that's a very good transit for you of Jupiter, swinging open more doors for you in that area there, but not all will be for the highest good, your highest good or the highest good, which presumably would be the same thing. And you could be dithering at times over which is the best way for me to go, because once you sort of set the compass, or turn your wheel in that direction of the compass, then that could be you having sort of thrown the dice, and so sometimes you might be a little bit indecisive, but don't worry, I don't think things will dry up, that there's not going to be any opportunities for you. Because it is Jupiter, and Jupiter brings abundance and expansion and growth wherever he goes, and this is your area of career. So don't just snatch the first thing that comes along. Having said that, you know, you got to go with what feels right to you. And by the end of the transit, you should feel more established in a certain area, more established in your field, or with your direction, as this is a time when you can identify more with what you do for a living. So your sense of inner identity and your external, what you do for a living, potentially could come together more easily with this transit. And you Librans born between the 11th and the 15th of October, or with 18 to 22 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most. Saturn moved out of your sign last October, and so you've had a year of being in the cycle of meeting challenges related to the material, physical side of life, you may have noticed. You know, it's always Saturn slows down whatever area it's in, and also contracts whatever area it's in. So you have to be more persistent, disciplined, and to manage the piggy bank, incomings, outgoings, to generate income, to increase quality lines of supply, whether that's cash, vegetables, or people. And gradually this side of life will take shape, because even though she's slow, she's sure. That's not very easy to say, actually. Good job I've got my teeth in. So yeah, and you can't be, you know, you can't make great dramatic sweeps in this area. You have to be ploddingly, even boringly, persistently, consistently slow, and you will get there. Now that's it for October, and if you want to know what the slow moving outer planets are doing, go to my website. I update that every month. And also, if you listen to your moon sign or your rising sign, if you know what they are for the forecast on here, then that'll add to or take away from what I've said here. But it'll give you a more rounded outline, I suppose, and I will see you the next time.